How do you reorganize a honeybee hive that is an absolute mess? Well, I just did that. I'm not sure that I did it the best way. I'm Rob from Dowdle Family Farms. I just inspected this hive that had 4 different hive bodies. I realize it's not the norm, but I call all hive bodies supers. I tend to use those terms interchangeably, so forgive me. So this honeybee hive had 4 different hive bodies, and I count from the bottom up. So at the 4th one, the very top one, the first one that I encountered was just a deep super. It had some drawn wax on it in 2 frames, and it also had some nectar on those 2 frames. The super below was just a shallow super that I had used for comb honey. It didn't have anything in it, so I pulled it off. The second one from the bottom, I started seeing brood, and then the very bottom one that should have been the brood chamber was absolutely empty. So I pulled 2 frames of honey to be harvested off of this hive, and then I completely reorganized this hive. I'll show you that in the video to come. There's the queen, one of last year's queens. There's the queen on the bottom there with a white dot in the center of that frame. So right now I'm just scraping off the excess wax off this frame. I'm really interested in checking these 2 green drone foundations. For the last 3 years or so, I've put drone foundation in there. I had some issues with it the year before last, and I'm glad to see that this year the bees have drawn out a good bit of foundation on several of these drone frames. But what I'm running into is, you can see how the boxes that I just set up there is starting to decay. You can see little mushrooms even on the box. So what I've decided to do is to put this box that I've got stained onto the bottom of the hive. It'll be the first hive body or the brood chamber. And now I'm just kind of repacking it. So first I'm putting in these 2 drone frames into this hive body, what will become the brood chamber. But then I moved that one out because most of the brood was in that second hive body from the bottom. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting all the brood back into that first hive body from the bottom, which is the brood chamber, so that they can move up. So in addition to reorganizing the hive, I've also moved the brood chamber down into the bottom and kind of flipped it over. Now, this hive, I was just checking to see if there were any eggs in that frame. So now what I'm going to do is come back and put this second hive body in, and it'll have mostly drawn frame. I've got some extra propolis and stuff that I'm trying to clean away from that hive so that the frames will rest in there better. So now I'm going to put back frames in this hive. I run 9 frames in my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th supers where I'm planning on drawing honey from them. However, this is darker comb, so I'm only probably going to let them raise some brood in this comb and then make splits out of this hive come April or May. But you can see that there's even some honey in some of these frames. Now, what I really like, honestly, some of my favorite frames are these black plastic acorn frames. But what I've done is that frames that I'm drawing from that last super there, these 2 black plastic frames, those are actually from what was the 4th super. When I opened the hive up, it had 2 frames of wax foundation in it, and I'm just putting them in there now. So I stepped away to go get the 9 frame spacers that I use when I put 9 frames in a 10 frame hive. I really like having 9 frames in my honey supers because it helps with the uncapping process so much easier with the equipment that I have. However, because this is mostly brood comb that's in this hive, and because I'm expecting the bees to make brood out of it, it's kind of pointless for me to put 9 frames in here, but I was not thinking very clearly. But, you know, sometimes I don't think through things as I always should. So do me a favor. If you keep honeybees, let me know where in the world you keep honeybees and what's going on at this specific time of the year for you. If you're not a beekeeper and you don't really plan on being a beekeeper, but you're interested in honeybees and what's going on with them, let me know in the comments. let me know what specifically you liked about this video, and more specifically, let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see about keeping honeybees. This is the time of the year where the honeybee season is off to a start, so we'll be working with the honeybees a whole lot over the next few days and weeks and months ahead. I'm sure you saw the decay and even the mushrooms growing out of the hive body in that honeybee colony. I found a quicker, easier, and what I think so far is a better way of treating my woodenware for my honeybee colonies, and it is so incredibly simple. I've got another video that should be published about this same time. I'll put a link to it right here in this video. But for now, it's Rob from Dowdle Family Farms signing off, hoping you have a great day. Take care, and we'll see you next time.